right now, in this very moment, what are you doing? What is it that you are doing? Because whatever it is, your future self is going to pay for it. Hey everybody, welcome back to another video I'm doing. Today, we're going to talk about the top lessons I have learned into my 30s. Things that I just wish I knew when I was younger. Now, I do want to say some of these tips might be a little obvious, but I'm going to kind of go in depth on some of them. So just because they sound obvious, it may not be as obvious as you think. Tip number 1, your health is the foundation of everything. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. Your health is so paramount. I cannot stress this enough, especially for younger people. You know, when you're younger, you feel like you're invincible. You can do anything. You can eat anything you want. And that's kind of true. But as you get older, you realize that, what you're putting into your body is, the fuel. It's what's going to, regenerate your cells and keep you healthy. And if you're eating a bunch of processed sugars and bullcrap like granola bars in the center of the grocery aisle, you're going to pay for it when you're older. I'm telling you, man, when you have a pain somewhere in your body, when you have something wrong with you, it hinders you in ways you would never imagine. It not only messes with your physical, body, it messes with your mental health, it messes with your creativity, and overall, it's going to affect every aspect of your life. So really important, health is paramount. Eat whole foods. When you go into the grocery store, go around the perimeter, stay away from the center, stay away from the granola bars, the cereals. Now, this doesn't mean, I want to make it clear, it doesn't mean you can't indulge. That's kind of the best thing about eating healthy is you can eat healthy and then you can indulge in some pancakes if you want. It's okay. It's just when you're eating this junk day after day after day and then you get used to it, you're going through the drive-thru at Panera Bread or whatever and you're getting all this sugary stuff because everything has sugar in it because corporations want to make more money so they want their stuff to taste better. The sugar is going to affect you over time. Okay, tip number 2, invest in yourself. It's important to invest money, to invest your time, to invest in relationships, to invest in your ideas, your creative endeavors, even in your job, because when you invest, what's that saying, right? You sow what you reap. Invest now, and you're going to reap the benefits later. Investing is the best thing you can do because it builds a foundation, and then you compound on top of that. So the next tip is going to be creative. Find a creative outlet and do it. You have no idea. You really have no idea how satisfying it is when you're able to create something because it just gives you this satisfaction that is just ineffable. Ineffable. Is that the word? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I'm telling you, it's the greatest feeling you can have. And some people might say, oh, Matic, I'm not creative. I don't know how to be. Everybody is creative. Everybody. You're creative when you're problem solving, okay? You're creative when you're talking to somebody and coming up with the words you're going to say. This is all creativity. If you can find something that you can be creative in, you can express yourself however that is, I'm telling you, it's going to improve your mental health greatly. So the next tip is pain is either your fuel or your prison. Use it or it will use you. All types of pain, whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain, any kind of pain that you experience, you want to take that pain and you want to channel it towards something productive, like something creative. Because what happens is if you don't use that pain to your advantage, the pain is going to start using you. And it's going to start, controlling the thoughts you have. It's going to start controlling the actions you're taking. And before you know it, you're going to be in a horrible depression and have no way out. I mean, there's always a way out, but, you're going to think there's no way out. So it's really important to take any kind of pain that you're dealing with, whether it's somebody that broke your heart, or maybe you lost a loved one, or you lost your job, or, whatever it is. Take that pain and channel it into something productive. It can really take you a long way. The next tip is everything you do today is either going to be a gift or a bill for your future self. Choose wisely. The things you do today are going to affect your future self. You pay for your past self's choices. And I know that might sound obvious, but as you get older and you change and you become more mature, you realize, man, those choices I made 10 years ago are really affecting me today. And you can't go back in time and you can't change that. So right now, in this very moment, what are you doing? What is it that you are doing? Because whatever it is, your future self is going to pay for it, whether it's going to be a gift or it's going to be a bill. So another huge lesson here, accept what is. There are way more things about life that you can't control than you can. So what's really important here is you want to focus on the things that you can control, not the things you can't. If you focus on the things that you can't control, it's going to cause depression and it's going to cause you to suffer because You can't control it. Desire is the root of all suffering. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't desire things that you don't have or whatever, but I'm just talking about things in the world, things about yourself, about your life that you cannot control. This could be maybe, a certain part of your body that you don't like, or, maybe when you were younger, something happened to you, whatever. These are things you can't control. It is what it is, and here we are today. And what you can do is take all of those lessons that you've learned from the things you can't control, focus all that energy into what you can control, and you're going to be a lot happier mentally. Here's a big one here, and I know it's going to seem obvious, but follow me here. Don't do drugs. Now, there's a caveat to that. Now, I would never endorse anybody doing any kind of drugs, but here's what I'm going to say. If you are going to do drugs, if that's something that you want to do, biggest tip I can give you, build your life and your career first. I'm telling you, it is so horrible when you do drugs when you're a kid because, first of all, your brain is still developing until you're 25. So if you're, ingesting stuff, it's going to change who you are. And that could be a good or a bad thing, but a lot of the time, people get addicted to substances when they're really young, and then when they get into their 30s, that's when they're trying to build their life, and they've kind of already, screwed stuff up. So my biggest advice to you here is don't do drugs ever. Don't ever do drugs. But if you're going to do drugs, do it after you have made yourself a success in the world. But again, don't do drugs. Just don't do them. Next tip here, be kind to everyone. Because number one, you don't know who that person is going to grow up to be. And you always got to remember, people always change, and so do you. The most important thing that you can give or receive is love. Love is more than just an emotion. I really believe love is a metaphysical property of reality, but that's beside the point. When you're in conversation with somebody and somebody is being irate or angry or mean to you, and you switch that up with giving them love and kindness, it literally changes the dynamics of the situation. It can change the chemistry of people's brains. And, we know that when somebody's angry towards you and you're angry back towards them, that's fighting fire with fire, and it's just going to make more fire. So always give love. Love is so important, and love manifests in all sorts of different ways. I know people hear the word love and they go, oh, hippy dippy, but I'm telling you, man, it's so important to love people. And love is so much more than just an emotion, like I said. It's more about, kindness and understanding and empathy and being there for people and not judging people. We're always going to judge people, but not taking those judgments and acting on them. Because, like I said, people change, people make mistakes, and it's really important to remember that. You never know what that person is going through, so love is the most important thing you can give or receive. Never forget that. This is a big one. This is a big one here, guys. Talk to people you disagree with. Because what happens is fear breeds hate if unchallenged. So find people that you absolutely disagree with and try and understand them. Figure out why they think the way they do. Why do they believe they think the things they do? Let's say you're, on the left-leaning side. You're more of a liberal or more of a left-leaning sort of political person. Go and talk to conservatives. Talk to Trump supporters. Understand them. Because I'm telling you, what you're going to find is people are a lot more similar to you than different. It's just that outward appearance that scares people away. You see someone with a Trump hat on, a MAGA hat, and you're like, oh my, I'm not talking to that person. But you don't know. You never know what you can find out about that person that might mirror yourself. And then you might understand more and more why that person thinks that way. And also, in those conversations, a lot of the time, people can change their minds. So you might meet somebody who's totally disagreeing with you, but you have a good conversation, they might start second-guessing their own beliefs and end up, coming to the other side. So really important. Talk to people that you disagree with. I cannot stress that enough because, like I said, fear breeds hate if left unchallenged. What did Jesus say? Love thy enemy, right? Love the people that are on the opposite side because, like I said, you're going to find they're more similar to you than you think. The next lesson is do not ever hold grudges. Always forgive. And remember, forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. A lot of the time when people hurt you, I've been hurt by people before, really hurt by people. And, the first instinct you want to do is just hold that grudge and you want to hate them and you want bad things to happen to them and all of that. And all of that does is hurt you. That person's not here anymore. That person doesn't know these things that you're thinking. It's only hurting you. And what forgiveness, I've made a video on this back in the day, but one of the greatest things about forgiveness is that it's for you. It's for you to let go of that and move on and say, hey, that person really hurt me and I'm okay with it. I'm a better person now and I'm going to move on. Use that pain that you get from others to your advantage and you'll find that you'll almost want to thank them for what they did. Not always, but it's very important to not hold grudges. It's just, do not hold grudges, because like I said, it's only going to hurt you, and it's going to cause you stress, and stress is not good for your body at all. Another big lesson here: if something is on your mind more than once, say it, because you may not get the opportunity in the future. Now, this doesn't just go for like in conversation. This goes for even relationships you have. You might be thinking about somebody, and you might want to tell somebody something, and over and over you keep thinking, oh, I really should tell this person. I really should call them and tell them, and you never do. And then by the time you finally get to it, they're gone, and you don't get a chance to, because nothing is forever. The only constant is change. So it's very important, whenever you have something on your mind, tell that person, whether it's a loved one, whether it's a friend, whoever it is. If it's on your mind more than once, tell that person. There's another big one. I know a lot of people probably already know this, but it's really important. Money doesn't buy happiness. Money buys freedom. Save more, spend less. Money can solve a lot of problems, but it isn't going to solve your internal problems. Whether it's something that, some sort of hole that you're filling from, someone leaving you or whatever. Money is not going to do that for you. Money is freedom. Don't think of money as, once I get a bunch of it, I'm going to be happy, because you're just not. It's just not how it works. Now, I know freedom can make you happy, but it's a very surface level happiness, right? Because obviously we know the real happiness is from within you. So money doesn't buy happiness. Save more, spend less. All right, so here is another one that is really big. No one is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to make your dreams happen. Only you can do that. You are the only one that cares about your dreams as much as you do, and you're the only one that sees that vision in your head. Nobody else. And a lot of the time, people act on selfish, reasons, and nobody is going to just show up in your life and make all your problems go away and achieve your dreams. You have to make that happen, and believe in yourself. That's another big thing. You have to be the cheerleader. You have to be that engine that pushes yourself, because no one else is going to do it. I promise you. People might come into your life and seem like they're going to do that, but they're going to leave. They're not going to do that. You have to be the engine. You have to be the spark. Here's another great one that's obvious, but maybe not. Life is full of problems, and they're never going to stop. Get good at solving problems. If you ever noticed about life, you never run out of problems. Like, whenever you solve one, another one shows up, and that's kind of just how it works. Life is going to throw you curveballs. And if every time you have a problem, you complain and you ignore, or, you don't try and solve it, what happens is it festers, and it gets worse and worse and worse, until the point where you have to deal with it. And at that point, it's going to be a lot more difficult than if you just dealt with it when it first showed up. So get used to problems, because life is full of them. And I don't want to say get used to them. I want to say get good at solving them, because the better you are at solving your problems, the better life you're going to have, because you're going to get, more used to the fact that, like, okay, this is a ride. Life is a ride, and there's going to be all these problems that are going to be thrown at me when I, least expect it. And I have to get better at solving them head on, instead of hiding in fear and hating my problems. Another tip here: always try to find the good in the bad. There is always a silver lining in every horrific thing that happens in your life. Always try to find, what is the good in this? What is the silver lining? The thing that I can be grateful for in this horrible thing? And, that could be anything. You could be sick with something. You could lose a family member. Somebody could, break your heart, whatever it is. Find the silver lining in that. Well, this happened, but hey, I got this, or I learned this lesson, or, maybe I, lost to this person, but now I have a greater respect for this person, right? So really important to find the silver lining in the bad, because life is full of good and full of bad. And if you just focus on the bad, you're going to think life is a horrible place, and you're going to have a horrible time. So find the good in every single bad situation, because I promise you, if you look hard enough, you'll find it. All right, we're getting to the end of the list here. There's a couple that are really, really good. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Comparison is poison. Don't do it. I have fell victim to this most of my life, where I see people, I'm trying to build a YouTube channel. I see these younger people fly past me that, have way more subscribers, and you think to yourself, man, I'm not good enough. I'm not going to be able to do it. Oh, how did this person? And don't stop doing that. Just stop. Be happy for other people's success, because if you start comparing yourself to others, you're going to start, fearing that you're not going to make it, and you're going to start hating, because like I said, fear breeds hate. So what you need to do is stop the comparison, be happy for others, and understand that everybody's on their own journey. Everybody is going at their own pace, and that's okay. So don't compare yourself to others, because the more you compare yourself to others, the more you're going to hate yourself. And you can't love others if you don't love yourself. Follow your dreams when you're young. Do that. When you're young, go and do the crazy stuff, because as you get older, it gets harder and harder and harder to follow your dreams, because you end up having responsibilities. Maybe you have a family and you got to take care of kids, and it just becomes almost impossible. It's not impossible. Nothing is impossible, but it becomes incredibly harder to follow your dreams as you get older. So if you're young, if you're in your teens or your 20s and you have a dream, follow it now. This is the time to follow it. The last lesson that I want to leave you with, and I have a couple more, I might do another video, but stop thinking that once you get X, you're going to be happy. This kind of ties into the money thing. A lot of people have this idea, man, once I get this, once I have this, once I'm like this, then I'll be happy. Then I'll be able to be successful. That's a lie. It's a fucking lie. It's not true. Because what happens is you might think you're going to be happy, but what happens is you get that thing and you're happy for a little bit. But what happens? What does the brain do? You get used to it. And before you know it, it's in the background. It's like if you want this, oh, I know that I'm going to be happy when I get this Ferrari. I'm going to be so happy. Well, you're going to get that Ferrari and you're going to be pretty happy for, about a week, about a month. And then before you know it, it's just another part of your life. And it isn't this special thing. And then also, you're going to be on to the next thing. Oh, well, once I get, a Corvette now I'm going to, or, once I get, a TV, or once I get a girlfriend, or once I get a career, then I'll be happy. Happiness comes from within and not from out there. Superficial happiness comes from out there. Pleasure comes from out there. But the real true happiness in life comes from within and who you are. And that's why building your character is so important. Being kind to people is so important. Understanding people is so important, because the more that you can understand life and reality and what's going on here, the happier you're going to be. So stop trying to think, oh, once I get this, I will be happy, because I promise you it is a lie. Talk to any famous person. Jim Carrey, great example. Oh, I thought once I was famous and had all this money, I would be happy. And he wasn't. He realized, no, happiness doesn't come from out there. It comes from within. All right, everybody, I hope you learned something throughout this video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the video. Let me know what you thought about all the different lessons here. These are real lessons that I came up with from my own head that I have learned through life into my 30s. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one. That's it.